A pleasant day to all of you out there. Welcome to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and you are watching us via Signal TV channels 8 or 250, and also you can watch us on facebook.com/OneNewsPH, and on YouTube, just enter One News PH. And if you have the Signal Play app, you can watch us on the go. Okay, today is April 16, 2021. It's a Friday, and I welcome you to a weekender program. And I do hope that you are all looking forward somewhat to the weekend, although many of you who are in the NCR Plus Aquarium, inuulit ko po, aquarium kasi yung bubble yun para sa mga walang sakit. Pero kung sama-sama na ang may sakit at walang sakit at kinulong kayo dyan, either selda yan, yung mga kakosa ko ng mga IATF detainees, or nasa aquarium kayong labo-labo na. Anyway, today we will be tackling several concerns, and our guests for today are Secretary William Dar of the Department of Agriculture, who we will ask about what happened. Anyari, Kuyang, what happened to him at the Senate yesterday after the senators decided that they will block the Executive Order 128 yata, kung di ako nagkakamali, wherein the President had lifted the tariffs on imported pork. And ano ang kalalabasan? One thing we are sure, pork is now 400 to 410 dyan po sa Manila. Okay, sa Metro Manila, tumatakbo na rin ng 400 to 410. Kanina po yan, nabalitaan natin. And we will also have Senator William Gatchalian. We will ask Win Gatchalian, William din ba siya? Basta Win Gatchalian, Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Basic Education. We will find out from Senator Win Gatchalian, ano na ang estado ng magiging pag-aaral ng mga bata. Do we actually have a school year to begin with? And how are we planning to go back? Because from the looks of it, aabutan na po tayo ng another school year, wala pa rin nagbabago. There are no vaccines for our children, for the young adults, for young people, school-age people. Walang bakuna. And ewan ko, kung nabakunahan na yung mga maestra, mga teachers, mga principals, we will find out from Senator Win Gatchalian. Nasasamid po tayo dahil doon sa kape. Sobrang tapang. Anyway, let's go to the front page of the Philippine Star. The time is 8:03 in the morning. Inoculation of AstraZeneca on Filipinos may soon resume as the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, has recommended to lift its temporary suspension. FDA says various groups, including the World Health Organization, came out with a unanimous recommendation that the overall benefits of the jab outweigh the risk. Yan po, no? Yan lang po, Mr. President. Kung kayo medyo mainit ang ulo nyo kahapon, dahil may nagsumbong sa inyo na may mga tao daw na hindi nagpapabakuna kahit na andoon na yung bakuna, wag po kayong magalit, wag po niyong murahin yung mga tao na ayaw magpabakuna. Siguro, best if you try to discover, try to investigate through your other people, not the cordon sanitaire around you, why people don't want to be vaccinated or some people are hesitant. Kami na lang po, naghihintay. Wala. Diba? The people are there, but where's the job? Diba? May mga tao na, tapos mababalitaan mo, pinapatigil yung sa AstraZeneca, mababalitaan mo yung 50% lang. Yung pong mga nasa paligid nyo, ang tanongin nyo if they actually know what they're doing and what they are doing. Kasi po, marami po sablay. Huwag po tayong magmura. Hindi po nakakabuti yan sa alta presyon nyo, sa kalagayan nyo, o sa aming pananaw sa inyo. Okay. Meanwhile, the Duterte administration hopes its friendship with China would be the key to convince the Asian power to pull its vessels from the Julian Felipe Reef at the West Philippine Sea. Last month, more than 200 Chinese ships were spotted in said reef, which is inside the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. Yun na po, no? Medyo, friends, how sure are you that they are our friends? Okay? That is the question, because maybe, again, you should investigate their friendship with other nations who actually fell for their promises or believed in their so-called support and got zip, got nothing. Di ba? Si Lee Kuan Yew, sinabi yan noon. Sinabi yan noon ni Lee Kuan Yew, mag-ingat kayo dyan sa mga yan. Okay. And last but not the least, Acting Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Carl Kendrick Chua insists the local hog industry would not see its demise with the price hike in pork imports. Actually in the price hike with pork imports. Speaking to senators, Chua said it would even ensure adequate food supply and even prevent malnutrition in the country. Let's discuss more about that issue on the pork supply and prices with Agriculture Secretary William Dar, our first guest for the morning. Good morning, Mr. Secretary.
Good morning, Cito, and I have with me Yusek William Medrano and Director Reldrin Morales.
Director Morales, good morning. Yusek Medrano, good morning. We hope that we can get a lot of information in today's meeting. First question, Secretary Dar, what was the end result of the Senate hearing yesterday? Do you end up not being able to import, or will you allow the importation but same levels of taxes like before? Kumbaga, status quo.
Ang aming pananaw, Cito, ay napirmahan na yung EO 128 ng ating mahal na Pangulo at yun ay in effect na. So we continue to implement that. So we also respect yung decision ng Senado, karapatan po nila yan. So we'll just continue our work.
Okay, now what is your reaction? And any one of the gentlemen at the table can also respond. Kasi this morning po, Mr. Secretary, we found out that the prices of pork, hindi na po in the 300 plus level, it already broke the 400 level per kilo, and medyo it shocked some of the people I know. They were like asking, anong nangyari sa presyo ng baboy? Akala ba namin nakokontrol na ng gobyerno, parang nagwala ang presyo?
You know, Cito, we have been trying our best. That's why we continue to pursue itong iba't ibang measures na ito. You know, mobilization of hogs from surplus provinces and itong lowering of tariff and itong MAPLAS. I don't understand bakit hindi maintindihan ng mga stakeholders na dapat may sapat na pagkain ng ating bansa, ang karne na affordable dito sa mga merkado. And that's why we believe na itong measures na pinanukala po natin will help in reducing pork prices. Manipis na po yung supply natin na galing dito sa bansa.
Well, that seems to be contrary to what Senator Lacson is pointing out, that when he went to the statistics, Philippine statistics, ang consumption is lower than the actual production. I think there is, based on what Senator Lacson said, like 400 metric tons excess annually between 2018 and 2019. Hindi naman siguro masyado nagbago yan for 2020. I think Yusek Medrano can address that, Yusek, dahil kayo yata yung nasa livestock, Yusek.
Yes, sir, Cito. Yeah. Yung spike in price, sinabi mo 410 and 420 is a clear indication na meron na talagang tining ang supply. At yung sinabi ni Secretary, these are measures that would try to tame the spike in price and eventually yung increase in inflation. Sa ngayon po, talking of supply and demand, base sa report ng Philippine Statistics Authority, ginamit po namin, yung 12.7 million po na standing na inventaryo in 2019, ngayon ay 9.7 million na lang. So meron tayong 3 million na po na nawala dahil sa ASF. So with that, at ang demand po ay yung figure po ng DA ay ganun din ang figure ng NEDA na na ang demand ay 1.6 million metric tons for the year. So 1.6, ang supply lang po natin ay nasa 1.2. So talaga yung aming estimated deficit ay nasa 388,000 metric tons. So ito lang po yung gusto nating i-import para ma-augment yung supply and eventually bababa yung presyo sa palengke.
Okay, so it's a difference of opinion. For Senator Lacson, there is a 400 million excess. For the Department of Agriculture, there is a 388 million deficit.
Tama po.
Okay.
Tama po, pero hindi namin din alam kung saan galing yung mga ginamit ni Senator Lacson na basis. Pero sa amin po ay galing po ito sa PSA data and vetted din po ng DTI and even NEDA.
Okay. Now, Secretary Dar, moving forward, ano ang magagawa natin or ano ang magagawa ninyo? What is the Department of Agriculture planning to do in real terms and in real time to first bring down the prices, second, to make sure that we will have ample supply without having to resort to executive orders, etc. Because from what I know of the department and your office, you have more than enough powers to institute operations and strategies to control this problem.
Okay, number one, Cito, nakikiusap na kami sa hog raisers na mag-repopulate continuously para every 6 months mayroon tayong supply sa merkado. That's number one always. And kakibat yan ay yung repopulation program. Ay mayroon tayo dyan. Mayroon tayong budget na sa repopulation sa backyard and semi-commercial in green zones. Mayroon 500 million na ipautang ng ICPC, zero interest payable in 5 years. Mayroon din backyard clustering in earlier ASF affected areas at ito na yung pink and yellow zones. 700 million po using the sentineling approach. Now we also have for commercial hog raisers yung concessional loans. 3% lang sa Land Bank of the Philippines, they have 15 billion. Another incentive para the hog raisers continue to repopulate. Mayroon tayong subsidy na 22% of the premium sa commercial hog raisers para through the PCIC, the Crop Insurance Corporation. At ang bayad po yan ay 100%. Sa patiners, 10,000, hindi na lang 5,000 ang indemnification. Ang breeders ay 14,500 and parental stock ay 34,000 pesos kada ulo. Ganon din sa backyard hog raisers ay 100% din ang bayad sa kanila. Magpatala lang sila sa PCIC at nakalista sila sa RSBSA. Now, number two, we are also talking with the meat importers na babaan na nila habang parating pa yung mas mababa na might halos parating yung mga pork na mas mababang taripa. Ang offer po ng mita, offer po nila yung sabitulo ay 200 pesos, kasim ay 270 at ang liempo ay 300. Now, nagpahayag na ang mita na isasagawa na nila ito. Even bringing these pork imports at higher rates.
Okay.
Of course, we are studying other measures. Yung continuous mobilization po ng hogs from the other areas po. At maybe lastly, we need to again look at the SRP mechanism.
Okay. Secretary, we'll just go for a quick break and we will go back right to you, right after this break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to the program agenda. You are watching us via Signal TV and through the internet services of PLDT Home Fiber Unlimited. Okay, let's go back to our guest, Secretary William Dar, Undersecretary Medrano, and Director Morales of the NMI. Tama ba ako? Bureau of Animal Industry. Okay. Secretary Dar, let's do a reverse on the solutions that you presented. first, let me ask about the SRP. Alam niyo po, ang SRP para lang yung yellow light dun sa signal, sa traffic light. Optional kung susundin or hindi. But last month, you implemented a price cap. Would you not be more inclined to put a price cap para lahat susunod?
The strategy dito ay ito nga, pag dumating na yung mga karne imported with lower tariff, talagang bababa at bababa yung presyo. So, may indikasyon nga, may offer ang meat importers na even now they're going to lower yung presyo na ibebenta na nila. Yung sinabi ko kanina, sabit ulo, ito yung gusto nila, ito, yung 200 to 270 yung kasim, at saka 300 yung liempo.
But how soon will that happen, Secretary? Kasi nagsalita na rin yung Senate. Sabi nila, no, we will not allow the removal or the reduction of tariff for those imported porks. So parang kaming mga mamimili, we are waiting on who gets to home base first, as they say.
As I've said earlier, Cito, yung 128 is in effect until it is, even with the resolution of the Senate, of course, that will be properly studied by the President. We would always want a win-win arrangement in general. Na ang ating mga hakbangin ay tulungan ang mga local producers. At the same time, yung supply na kakulangan ay i-augment mo yon. Yun palagi ang gusto namin dinidikdik.
How soon will we see the imported porks and prices of the Meat Importers Association na yung sinasabi ninyo mababa na?
They are starting to implement this offer na ito, Cito. Mayroon sulat ang MITA sa amin offering itong pricing arrangement na ito. Pero sabi namin, please ipakita naman ninyo na lahat ay yung miyembro ninyo ay susunod at pwede na ipababa yung presyo. At nag-commit kasi even before itong EU 128, mayroon nang dumating sito dito sa bansa out of the outside quota ng MAB ay mayroon ng 38 million kilos of pork. And that's for the last quarter. And I believe na with the 15 million kilos requirement every month ng Metro Manila, nitong next 1 month can still be supported out of the earlier imports.
Okay. Then let's go to yung sinabi ninyong repopulation program because you mentioned loans. May mga nagsasabi na mahirap mag-umpisa ulit because yung kanilang indemnification fee, yung bayad natin sa aming mga tinamaan ng ASF, hanggang ngayon, wala pa raw po, Mr. Secretary. And in fact, I have even received appeals from local veterinary practitioners, yung bang sa mga city hall, sa mga munisipyo, nagsasabi, sir, kami ang minumura, kami ang nagpatupad. We are the ones who implemented the depopulation due to ASF, and we were told that there will be indemnification. Kami ngayon ang minumura sa mga barangay.
Okay, 2 parts of your question, Cito. I will ask Bahay Director Eldrin Morales to handle yung indemnification. After that, Yusek Medrano will handle yung repopulation.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Actually po, as of April 14, 2021, ang nababayaran na po natin sa indemnification sa siyam na rehiyon ay umaabot na po ng 1.5 billion dispersed from contingent fund and QRF. Yun pong nangyari po kasi dyan, Sir Cito. Meron pong mga on the latter part of last year, ano po, yung mga nahuli po na pumasok na mga papel, kinabutan po siya nung pag-ubos ng cash. So yan po ay nire-request pa po ngayon. So humihingi po kami ng kaunting pangunawa dahil yun pong ating government accounting system ay hindi naman po ganun kadali. At ang sinasabi nga po namin, bagaman doon po sa isang affected area, sabihin natin mga ilang milyon lamang yan. Sa pangkalahatan po sir, umaabot na po ng 1.5 billion. At yung mga nagsasign up po dito sa mga indemnification claim ay nagpubusisi lang po mabuti, nag-iingat dahil nga po dun sa ating mga COA ruling. So, sir, ito po, umasa po kayo na tinututukan naman po namin ito. Sa kasalukuyan po yung may mga naka-request po tayo sa DBM for payment. Yun po yung ating sinisiguro po sa inyo na hindi po namin pinababayaan yung tungkol po sa claim sa indemnification.
Okay, yan. Mga kaibigan, pinaabot ko na. Lalo na yung mga nanonood din sa Batangas. Pinaabot ko na yung inyong iniiyakan.
Wala, sir.
Okay. Okay, now, Yusek Medrano, paano naman yung sa repopulation? Because there are some people saying na kung pauutangin ko pa yung pangbagong simula, if I have to take out a loan just to restart my piggery that I lost because of ASF, they're not very interested. But it seems that there are people interested if you will simply undertake a dispersal program. Kasi ganun din naman ang gagawin nyo sa Sentinel program, di ba? Kung ASF area, testingin nyo muna, magbibigay kayo ng pang-testing. Kung mag-succeed, pwede na silang mag-umpisa. Why don't you just do a Sentinel and a dispersal program after each other?
Yes, Cito, tama yung sinabi mo. Ongoing na po yung sentineling as a requirement dito sa calibrated repopulation natin doon sa mga ASF affected areas. At meron na rin tayong pundo, nandun na po sa mga regional field offices na yung 400 million na quick response fund ay nadi-disburse na at ito ay sentineling, and at the same time it is also a livelihood dun sa mga affected farmers natin. Now, priority pa rin itong mga ASF affected farmers natin, but we also encourage yung mga green zones to enhance their production kasi tuloy-tuloy naman po yan, and we even encourage the commercial raisers to take advantage of this loan facility na napakababa naman ang interest rate. And what is important, Cito, is huwag sana silang matakot dahil meron na rin tayong insurance for and as an indemnification kung sakali meron.
Yeah.
So yung insurance ay nandiyan na rin. They have to pay the premium, but on the part of government, iso-subsidize natin ng 22%. Pero itong mga backyard na gustong magbabalik sa livelihood nila.
Okay, I don't know. We'll have to check. Mukhang bumagsak yung signal ng Department of Agriculture, but we will go back to them. And so, just to review, as far as Secretary William Dar is concerned, the Executive Order 128 is in effect until rescinded, blocked, or officially thrown into the wastebasket by the Philippine Senate or by Malacanang. Number one. Number two, the good news is, according to Secretary Dar, the Meat Importer Traders Association ba ang tawag doon, or MITA, have committed to lower their prices or bring out much lower prices for pork. The question is how low and when will this happen, although there is a commitment that it is going to happen soon and that the supplies are being met on a monthly basis. Pero sabi nga ni Secretary Dar, manipis na. Okay, Yusek Medrano, can you hear me? Are we back?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yun ang target po natin dito sa Inspire or Repopulation and Recovery Program. Given the necessary financial resources, we hope na itong swine industry natin will recover in 3 to 4 years. Kung sana sa ngayon meron kaming available funding na 1.2 for the repopulation and another 1.2 sa Bantay SF, kailangan po namin ng additional na 4.2 billion sana. Para
You said, just a point, ano po, no? Kasi pasensya na po kayo, gentlemen. I am just giving back to you the feedback of hog raisers. And I think we can all agree that the supply of pork in the Philippines, 65% of that is produced by backyard hog raisers, not commercial farms. And many of them are saying, Cito, pakisabi mo naman sa mga kaibigan mo sa Department of Agriculture, kahit bigyan kami ng sentinel na mga baboy para makapag-umpisa, saan naman kami kukuha ng perang ipapakain? Kasi tinamaan sila ng ASF, wala silang baboy. Kung mabigyan sila ng baboy, ay kailangan naman nila ng pangpakain, etc. Kumbaga, restart. Does the Sentinel program include a financial package para mapakain yung mga baboy for at least 5 months, I suppose?
Yes, ito, yung Sentinel program, kasama po dito yung pakain. The sentineling, pag they are already declared as ASF free, meron tayong package. We call it backyard farm clustering. At ito yung clustering model na ipapatupad natin. Magkla-cluster ang mga at least 60 backyard farmers so that they will be given a financial support to put up a biosecured housing facility
5 million.
at 5 million para hindi na ito yung biosecured para sigurado po na hindi na mapapasukan ng ASF. Pero sabi natin, once they are clustered or well organized, ililink namin sila sa feed supplier, feed miller, na sila naman ay magbibigay ng pautang na pagkain at babayaran nila pagka naibenta na nila yung kanilang baboy. So
Okay.
tuloy-tuloy po yung sistema na yan at tuloy-tuloy din yung livelihood and income generation dito sa ating mga backyard. Yun na po
Okay.
yung bago na gagawin natin dahil yung dati, yung traditional, pa-isa-isa, tigdalawa doon sa mga likod ng bahay, hindi na po pwede yun dahil siguradong tatamaan ulit ng ASF dahil nandiyan pa po yung virus.
Okay, now, Secretary Dar, Yusek Medrano, Director Morales, okay, do we actually have a registry program? Kasi ako po ay kahapon, medyo yun ang pinag-iisipan ko sa mga pinresent ninyo eh. Marami dito sa mga backyard hog raisers are not registered. Ito ba sariling sikap na magtayo ng sariling cluster or meron na kayong gagawing program na bara-barangay, ililista na ng mga city or municipal veterinarian lahat na nagbababoy at tutulungan?
Ito sa bagong hog industry recovery program, Cito, itong una, dapat nakalista po sila sa RSBSA. Pangalawa, mag-enroll sila ngayon with PCIC every time na mayroon silang baboy at kung nag-increase yung baboy nila para may actual inventory at kung may sakuna naman ay mas mabilis na bayaran. So we will have a hog raisers inventory kasama na yung population na mayroon sila para automatic ay babayaran kung may sakuna na.
Okay, so any other announcements? Kasi Director Morales, meron akong nasagap kanina sa balita, meron na raw pong mga nagbebenta ng online na baboy. Medyo parang sabi ko, iba yata to. Paano ba labanan dyan? Ano nangyayari, Director Morales?
Sir, yung pong online, ito naman ay nagsimula pa to last year, dahil po dun sa nagkaroon nga ng lockdown, gustong bumili pero hindi makabili yung mga tao, hindi makalabas. Ina-address po ng DA po ito, at ang nangunguna po talaga dito ay yung National Meat Inspection Service. Yun pong NMIS ay patuloy po nakikipag-ugnayan sa mga local government unit through their enforcement groups para po i-monitor ito. Natatandaan ko po nung nandoon pa ako sa NMIS, yun pong ibang mga kasamahan natin doon, mga tao sa enforcement. They even buy dito sa mga online sellers na to. At yun nga po, para makapagkuha ng mga samples at para ma-penetrate yung network nila. We have to admit, sir, na mahirap i-regulate, kasi meron po mga instances nagbebenta ngayon.
Okay, I think we lost the signal again, pero mukhang na-cover naman nating lahat, and I apologize to the three gentlemen at the Department of Agriculture, but we're going to have to wrap it up there because we also have another interview coming up. We'll go for a quick break here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and you are watching us via Signal TV channels 8 and 250. Or you can also watch us via Facebook, .com/OneNewsPH, and also on YouTube, One News PH. Magandang gabi sa ating tagapanood dyan sa Canada. Canada ba yan? Medyo layo, ano? Canada. Well, Facebook is all over the place. And thank you also to those who gave us feedback regarding our interview with Dr. Randy Nicolas doon sa Leron Limab. Medyo ang dami pong nag-react ng mga foreigner. I got quite a number of email from people from abroad, and they were just sharing that pati raw sila medyo maganda experience dun sa gamot na yon. Okay, let's thank you to Secretary William Dar, Undersecretary Willie Medrano, and Director Morales of the Bureau of Animal Industry. Sorry po at medyo talagang minamalas tayo sa signal. Pa-check nga natin, sila ba yung naka-PLDT home fiber or office fiber? Kasi iba yung naka-fiber ang internet. Let's go to our next guest, Senator Win Gatchalian, Chairperson, Senate Committee on Basic Education. And let's find out, medyo meron din siyang ibang concerns yung sa waste. Senator Win, good morning.
Good morning, Cito. Magandang umaga at good morning to our televiewers, especially from Canada.
Okay, medyo
Can you hear me?
na-surprise. Yeah, I can hear you. Na-surprise nga ako. Do you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great. Medyo
Okay.
na-shock, na ano lang ako, I'm taken aback by your, the scenery in the back kasi
Oh.
you're not under quarantine, I hope, ha?
No. It's just ibang scenery ngayon. Ibang scenery tayo ngayon.
Medyo na ano ako. So,
I know. Yung scenery natin before was a sofa. Iba yung scenery natin yun.
Okay. Anyway, Senator Win, how are you? What have you been up to? I know the Senate as a whole decided to block EO 128, but other than that, ano ba ang pinagkakaabalahan mo? And of course, I want to transition later to other topics. But first, what have you been up to?
Thank you for that question, Cito. Two things. Number one is the vaccination rollout, especially here in Valenzuela. And number two is the ayuda rollout, especially here also in Valenzuela. I've been going around trying to get a good feel of the rollout of the vaccines and also how ayuda is being distributed to our countrymen. And two things I've learned, no, Cito. Number one, ang taas ng vaccine hesitation natin. Here in Valenzuela, 50%, or almost 60% pa nga, no? Let's put the conservative number. 60% of those who booked through our internet never showed up. Mataas yung aming no-show. And we've been interviewing anecdotally our constituents, and a lot of them are still hesitant in getting the vaccine, especially after reading many of those controversial reviews, no, about AstraZeneca, about even Sinovac. Now the latest is Johnson & Johnson. So a lot of our seniors, a lot of our friends with comorbidity, our constituents with comorbidities, actually are having second thoughts on getting the vaccine. That's why our no-show is very high. And then when it comes to ayuda, talagang, Cito, we really need to do a better job in distributing help and assistance to our constituents. One of the things nga that I'm filing when the Senate convenes is what I call one Filipino, one bank account. Let's mandate already, no, and obligate government to give everyone a bank account, because right now it's really mano-mano, talagang cash per family. And just imagine the logistics, the amount of manpower we need to distribute, at least here in Valenzuela, almost 200,000 constituents. And a lot of the, what I'm afraid of is a lot of our people who distribute, the treasurer or the treasury people who are distributing are also susceptible to infection. So if we have people who are infected, who will distribute the ayuda? So moving forward, I think we should automate this assistance distribution.
Which is not impossible naman,
Correct.
Senator Gatchalian, because land bank lang. Kami ng asawa ko, pag sa Metro Manila, BPI. Pag for provincial requirements, land bank. We
Correct.
don't normally have two bank accounts, but I said because of my engagement with BMEG feeds, nagtuturo ako all over the country. Kuminsan wala tayong allowance, pinapadalan tayo ng allowance si Mrs. through land bank, no?
Land bank,
So,
correct.
yung sinasabi mo, it's not impossible between DBP or land bank, right?
You're absolutely correct, no? And our research showed that the most or the widest bank that has the widest reach, or the bank that has the widest reach, is land bank. So, in being a government bank, we can mandate land bank to give everyone, no, all 105, except for babies, of course, so all 60 to 70 million adults, a bank account. So, whenever a pandemic strikes us and we cannot distribute physically, we can distribute electronically.
Pero ako, sa totoo lang, pati mga bata, 1-year-old and above, dapat kasi may mga ninong, ninang, tita, tito, mga kaipon na, matututo silang mag-ipon at an early age. Pero going back to, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say, tama ka rin, Cito, because yung ating national ID, by law, everyone, including infants, the moment you are born to this world, you will be given a national ID number. So all of us will have a national ID number. So we can link that to the bank account. Na-realize ko lang, Cito, our government officials are also susceptible to the virus. So if government fails, how do you distribute the ayuda? No, and we have, moving forward, we need to do a better mechanism to distribute ayuda.
Dapat nga mag-usap kayo ng kaibigan nating si Ronnie Ong, Congressman Ronnie Ong. Because yung sa kanya naman, i-QR code na pati yung mga medical history, senior citizen, etc. Sama-sama na. Anyway, but this thing about the ayuda, a lot of people are saying the local government needs to do a better job. Pero parang in fairness naman to local governments, because like Valenzuela, I know you guys do an excellent job when you're given enough time. But I think the problem here is, and I'm sorry, but I have to say it again and again, nauuna yung dada kaysa sa gawa. May gagawa ng magde-declare ang national government. They will declare, a lockdown or this, and then hindi na plano yung mga supporting mechanisms like ayuda. And then ang mamumura yung barangay captain, paghihinalaan yung mayor. Can't you do something about that?
Tama ka, Cito, no? The local governments can only do so much, no? Because the machinery of the local governments are also susceptible to the virus infection. And this is where the problem comes in, because they're trying to protect themselves also, they're trying to protect their families. And we have cases wherein buong barangay, no? The Kagawads, the Tanods get infected. And when that happens, that particular barangay fails. No, how can you implement ECQ? How can you implement distribution of ayuda? How do you implement vaccination? So, in other words, we really need to use technology. Tama si Ronnie, no? Ronnie is a expert in technology. Tama siya to use technology to our advantage and to distribute assistance to our constituents. Kaysa yung kagaya, no, na lumalabas sa video, the crude way, no? Ang tawag ko nga, the tamad way of distributing ayuda is to let people come to the basketball court at bahala na kayo, first come, first serve. So you will have a scenario wherein 500,000 people magdadagsa doon and you will distribute ayuda. Kawawa naman sila.
Hindi, tsaka sabi, walang mass gathering. Ano ba yung ginagawa ng sistema natin? Mass gathering din. And any case, before we go to education, which is the love of your life in the Senate, I just want to get an update. Yung sa vaccines, Senator, you said that in Valenzuela, you have like a 60%
almost 60%.
Apprehension, no show, kamo?
Yes. And that's in line with the national survey of about nakita ko sa national survey, no, only 46% said that they want to get vaccinated. So it's in line, no. I see it. I mean, I see it on the national survey, but I also see it on the ground.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
in yeah.
yeah, but aside from that apprehension, vaccine apprehension, may bakuna ba? Kasi kami ng misis ko, naghihintay kaming matawagan kami ng Pasig. We are in Lipa, but we are just waiting for a text so that we will go back there. Now, but from what I have been gathering all over the country, maraming lugar sinasabi, bakuna, wala namang bakuna.
Actually, if you follow the protocols, no, yung una-unahin natin yung medical frontliners,
Yeah.
then you have the comorbidities, and then you have the poor senior citizens. Itong tatlo lang, no, enough na because ang taas ang vaccine hesitation. So what I'm saying is enough siya because maraming ayaw. No? So what we need to solve now is the vaccine hesitation problem because even though you have the vaccines, assuming the vaccines arrive here tomorrow, 60% of our constituents will not get the vaccine. So the hesitation actually is very high as of this point. I know there will be a tipping point at one point. No, I don't know when and I don't know how yet. But one of the things that we need to solve now is to improve the acceptance of getting your vaccine.
Have you been
And one of the
vaccinated?
No, not yet. No, because we are in the B list. No, actually, parang fifth priority kami as senators. But I think we should get high-profile personalities to get vaccinated. Kung kaya nga, let the president. No, because ano naman siya eh. He's qualified. First of all, he's a senior citizen. Second, he's a top official. But it will send a strong signal if people will see him get vaccinated.
I pray to God that he gets himself vaccinated in public because right now, and I'm being dead honest about this, there is a lot of suspicion. The reason he does not want to be vaccinated in public is because he has already been vaccinated in private kasama ng mga PSG. So kailangan talaga either aminin or magpakita kasi either way, lahat yung mga nanonood medyo, ano ba talaga, di ba? So you're right, the president would be the number one example to fight vaccine hesitation. Anyway, moving forward, kasi baka maubusan tayo, Senator Win, what about education? Meron pa ba tayong education? Meron pa ba tayong school year?
Medyo very challenging, Cito. I would admit, talagang challenging because of the uncertainty. No, I remember a few months back when we had this interview, we were pushing for face-to-face. No,
Yeah.
But with all of these things happening, it's quite uncertain. No, if that can happen soon. But then again, no, I was looking at statistics. Cito, half of our country is under MGCQ, the less strictest, no, the most relaxed quarantine level. That means half of our students, no, almost 11 million, can actually go and go back to some form of face-to-face classes. I'm not saying full-blown, but some form, meaning once a week or even twice a week. And we can already start in those MGCQ areas, pilot testing, no, because those MGCQ areas are areas that are experiencing zero or they are also low risk. Those areas which are in GCQ, especially ASO here, no, which is under MECQ, will have to make sure that our schools are ready and wait for a bit, no, because the cases are unstable for now. So my point is, half of our country can already start the pilot testing, and the pilot testing can serve as a learning process for all of us who are under here, the MECQ areas. And at one point, Cito, I truly believe this surge will end, no, or will subside, and we have to go back to our normal lives. And one of which of those is face-to-face classes.
Yeah, but no less than the IATF task force head, National Task Force head, Secretary Carlito Galvez said, come June, July, expect another surge. And what worries me, Senator, is if you've been watching the international coverages, France has got a hell of a problem. Germany has another third wave. Parang just when we thought we were winning, there are now more new variants, and the
Yeah.
likelihood of this getting better seems to become dimmer and dimmer by the day. What should we be doing strategically? Kasi parang sa akin, tanggapin na natin that
Yeah.
in the next school year, 2021, 2022, wala pa ring face-to-face. What should we start working on in terms of logistics and technology? Kasi marami pa rin bata, walang tablet, walang cellphone, walang access.
That's a great question, Cito. The low-hanging fruit is to strengthen our what I call traditional technologies, no? Meaning TV, radio, we strengthen that. We improve the link between offline and TV and radio. Because right now we are distributing self-learning modules, but admittedly some of those self-learning modules are not in line with the TV and radio program. So let's make it more cohesive, ika nga. I'm not so optimistic with using the internet and online because that will take time to roll out in the next few months. Although we have to push it as far as possible. We have budgets allocated for gadgets. I will push to give gadgets to our teachers because I also found out that our teachers need the support in order to reach their students. So in other words, even though there's no face-to-face classes, our teachers are sacrificing their time and even their health in order to reach our students. And we need to equip them in order to reach out to more
Are the
students.
teachers vaccinated already?
That's what I'm pushing, to move them up to A4 or even higher, Cito, because if we are, and I'm sure, no, at one point we will go back to face-to-face. If we go back to face-to-face, we need to build that confidence. And one of the confidence builders is to make sure that our teachers are vaccinated.
Tsaka kung nakabakuna sila, pwede silang magbahay, mag-house to house, follow up on
Tama.
their students, etc. Kasi we're not thinking in the mode of the teacher. Last question ko na lang, Senator Win, well, we're running out of time. Last 2 minutes. The elephant in the room is ABS-CBN. They have the technology, the facilities, the manpower to support what you are talking about in terms of education. Kasi parang nakakapanghinayang that huge facility and its organization is out there. Pwede ba silang bigyan kahit na limit? I don't know if they would be interested, but I think there are, they can be patriotic when needed. Pwede ba silang pabigyan kahit na conditional franchise to become the national education transmission channel? Kasi you cannot deny that ABS-CBN has reached far greater than any organization in the Philippines.
You're correct, Cito. No, in fact, it's not only technology that they have; it's also the spirit, and they've already intimated that they want to use their facilities and their manpower, no, their talent, to help deliver education to our homes. And legally, I don't think you need a franchise anymore because we are in a state of emergency, and our education is in a state of emergency. So NTC can grant them a temporary operating permit solely to deliver educational programs to our children.
Are you going to push for that? Because I don't want to get into politics. I have to confess, I started my career with ABS-CBN on TV, but and I know their capability. So
Yes,
parang walang internet sa mga barangay pero may TV. So
Correct.
are you going to push for it?
Yeah, I made a lot of statements about using ABS and their intention to help our students. Let's set aside politics. Pagdating sa education, we should not politicize that because that's the future of our children. And let's tap into the talent. May importante yung talent. You might have the technology. If you don't know how to make the materials, wala rin, no? And they have the talent, they have the technology, and let's tap into that.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Senator Gatchalian, for your time this morning. And I hope you and I are wrong, but it looks like 2021, 2022 is still going to be online. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cito.
Okay, that's Senator Win Gatchalian, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Basic Education. Ako naman po, ang inyong Kuya Cito, nagpapasalamat sa mga nanonood. Wala po tayo ditong politika, wala tayong pinapanigan, pero solusyon lang. And we hope that in terms of the pork problem, hog raisers problem, education, we can all come together and do the best we can. God bless all of you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And see you next week here on Agenda.